This is Grapplers Talk.
What is up, fans of Grapplers Talk? This is Dave coming at you with another episode each and every week. Thank you to the fans for downloading and listening to the podcast. We appreciate all the love and support we get from you guys. We get tons of messages about you guys just telling us how much you guys are enjoying the show, and it's greatly appreciated to hear that. I'm sitting here with a good friend of mine. I've known this gentleman for quite some time. Dude, you've been in the game a very long time, so I had to get you on. A while back, he invited me to go check out his wrestling program, and I was blown away just at the level everything was at, man. He's a good coach and a good human being. I'd like to introduce you to Dao, man. What is up, brother?
What's up, brother?
Yeah, man. Thank you for being on. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule, man. I know, obviously you got a lot going on with the program, and just wanted to have you on to talk about your history in grappling, man. This is Grapplers Talking. A lot of times we focus on jiu-jitsu, but I want to focus on wrestling as well. And it's one of the toughest things to do in this game, man. Wrestling's a tough sport, so wanted to have you on, talk about your program, talk about how you got into grappling, and just introduce you to the fans, man.
Yeah, right on, man.
Yeah.
So I got introduced to wrestling back in the 90s, obviously high school. One of my buddies wrestled. The first season, it already passed. We were messing around, bro, in PE class. He was showing me some moves. I was like, what are you doing, dude? You know what I mean? I was like, all right, fine. I decided to wrestle, but the season was over, so I didn't get started until the end of freshman year, going to sophomore year, so 95, 96.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, and then picked up from there. Stayed in the game since at one capacity or another.
Do you remember your first wrestling practice?
Yeah, dude. I was actually, I went in, didn't have the gear, no shorts, no shoes, just fully clothed. And the coach was like, hey, here, you need shorts? Boom, here. You need shoes? Here. So all the excuses I can probably come up with. He's like, nah, dude, you're in my room, dude, so wrestle. So I got in there. Everything felt awkward, man. I didn't play any sports prior. You play street ball, but nothing in that capacity. You're in a room. It's one-on-one. It's physical. You're touching. So if you're not used to the physicality of like combat sports, it can be different, right?
100%.
So, yeah, dude, I got in there, and they ran like crazy. I was like, dude, what'd I get myself into? But I came back for more, and I met some pretty cool folks that I still talk to.
Yeah. And getting into wrestling, like, what was your reaction to it? Were you hooked right off the bat, or did it take you a little bit of time to really fall in love with it?
No, absolutely, I was hooked, man. I wasn't good by any means, you know what I mean? So it's challenging. Like, you grow up in the tough side of town. You got to be able to try to protect yourself. Growing up, I got older brothers, but they were doing their own thing too. So got into some scuffles,
Oh, yeah.
Didn't come out winning, so I was like, dude, I got to get better at something.
Yeah.
So when I got to that, I got to let a lot of aggression out.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
That's something that a lot of young men get drawn towards wrestling, right? It kind of gives you a little bit of an outlet. You're not getting in trouble fighting, but you are getting to fuck people up, right?
Yeah, hell yeah, man. That was one of the excuses I used to recruit some friends too. Like, hey, dude, look, you can scrap with these dudes, and you won't get in trouble. Like, you can, as if it was so damn easy. You're like, hey, you can dip them under the head, bro. But it's hella hard, dude.
Yeah.
You can't just pick somebody up.
Yeah, a lot easier said than done, right?
But that was a tactic, though.
Right.
So it's appealing to a lot of kids in our culture. Like, hey, dude, look, you do this, you don't get in trouble. Like, coming from, like, we're like the first generation coming from the the Pol Pot era.
Yeah.
Right. You're taught to just go to school, you know what I'm saying, do your shit, get a job, and that's it, you know. So we didn't have those kind of outlets growing up. So when we got to high school, we're like, hey, let's do whatever. And wrestling was it, man.
Yeah.
Like, you get to scrap.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
And so wrestling through high school, obviously you said you missed freshman year, so you started off sophomore year. Did you wrestle the rest of high school?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. I wrestled through high school. Did a little bit in college first, and then, life happens. Yeah. Stepped away for a little bit, took care of the family, and then came back at a coaching capacity. I didn't compete again for a long time. Yeah. Then came back, wrestled for Delta for a little bit, but older bones. This is after, I want to say after the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We did a little bit of fighting in between. Yeah. So a lot has happened between my last competition and then jumping into college. So, obviously we did some fighting, did some MMA stuff prior to that. So
how did you get introduced into the MMA side?
Funny story, man. I told you earlier we were speaking.
Yeah.
Like I said, life happens. I came back. I'm working out, trying to shred back down. I wrestled at like 130s and 112s. So I was skinny and small. I got to like 180 from that weight class. So I was in the gym working out in the sauna, and I bump into this dude, super cool cat, Chad. Chad, what's up, brother? We're in the sauna, man, just cutting weight. He's like, hey, bro, you want to fight, or you know how? I was like, I don't, but I wouldn't mind it. So again, this is Sunday.
Yeah.
Right? So I bumped into this dude Sunday. We're talking about fights. He calls me Tuesday. He goes, hey, are you serious about this stuff? You want to fight? I was like, yeah, well, let's go, dude. You know what I mean? It's a little gut check.
Yeah.
Can I do this professionally? So I signed up, and it's the Amber's Hall, right?
Yeah.
And I was supposed to fight one of my good buddies, Rocky.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rocky. Never met the guy. Heard, he's pretty tough, hard-nosed guy. And then something happens, he couldn't make it. And then Chad's like, hey, dude, we don't have nobody. So like, dude, Chad, I sold some tickets, man. I got my family out here. Like, just fill it up. And then obviously
he made the phone call.
Yeah, he made the phone call. And he goes, hey, dude, this cat's 6 foot. He's like 190, 200 pounds. I'm like, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
We're supposed to fight at 155s. Like, I don't care. Just bring him.
You remember him walking me into your locker room when I first showed up?
Yeah. I was like, dude.
You're like shadow boxing in there.
Yeah,
and
I'm like, dude, this
hitting
guy's a fucking giant, dude. Like, what am I getting myself into, right? And I was like, all right, what's a gut check? We scrap anyways. We don't care.
Yeah.
So we get in there, we do our thing, and I'd coach at East Union. I met Cortez is over there. Jason's son, Jason. So they had talked to me about jiu-jitsu, but I knew nothing of it.
Yeah.
But I knew them. So I got Sensei Jason, Cortez Martial Arts, full circle over there, and Javi.
Yeah.
JG himself. At the time, I believe he was a blue belt.
You know what's crazy is I didn't know it was Javi.
Dude, yeah.
I interviewed him. We talked, and I kind of told my history and stuff. I never knew it was him that was there.
Yeah, dude, that was him in the corner. So him and Sensei Jason cornered. They're yelling. Now watch out for the arm bar. I was like, what the fuck is that, dude? And then like 2 seconds later, I feel this sharp fucking pain. I was like, oh, that's what it is. And I said, hey, it's not that bad, dude. I shouldn't even tap. I didn't tap. I went ow. Right? I want to say, was it Neil, dude? I forgot who the ref was.
The funny thing was there was no referee in the ring.
Oh, was it?
We were fighting, and I looked back at the video, and I'm like,
Yeah.
where's the fucking referee?
Yeah.
And I go, Chad, was there a referee in that fight? He's like, no, dude. I had to jump in the ring once I saw the arm bar and like stop it.
Oh, shit. See, so that's a blur to me too, right? So it was crazy. It's a crazy experience, but again, it was for just a gut check anyways, right? It was fucking just scrapping.
That card, so the history behind that, Chad was really trying to get into promoting those fights.
Yeah.
He had one booked, and it was supposed to be in the parking lot over off of Knickerbocker and West Lane.
Yeah.
There was like a little liquor store over there, and he was going to do the fight in that parking lot.
Yeah.
He had a cage coming. He had porta potties on their way. And the porta potty guy shows up to drop off the porta potties, and the city of Stockton pulls up, and they're like, "What do you think you're doing?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, just blah blah." And they got wind of the event somehow, and they shut the whole thing down.
Yeah.
And so he already had tickets sold and things like that, and so he had to rebook the event to that night.
Wow.
So he was going through some shit. He even fought that night on that card to fill it out. He fought Dimitri Moore.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
D, that's the man right there.
Yeah,
He's still around.
man.
He's still around.
He's still in good shape too.
Yeah, the
dude.
dude's man. He's a specimen, dude.
Yeah, man.
Fucking Batman suit.
And so after that, you started training at SenCal, right, for a little bit.
I found my way to. Well, I went to Cortez first before I found SenCal. So I committed over there for a few months. Like I said, I met Javi and stuff over there. And that kind of fell off, right? Jiu-jitsu's tough. Back then, I believe the pricing is almost the same as now.
Yeah.
But 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? So I couldn't make my way there. Again, life happens. And then I took a little break and then found SenCal.
Yeah.
And then got Moses and stuff.
It just started getting popping on Pacific Avenue around that. Or
in Porter. Pacific and Porter, yep.
I always think it was right by Finnegan's, like pretty close to that area.
Yeah. Same block. We're opposite side of Finnegan's, but same block.
Yeah.
It was cool, man.
Yeah.
We didn't have anything up here at the time. It was like the Ice House.
Yep.
And all the other jiu-jitsu schools, but no MMA outside of like the Diaz and stuff.
Yeah. And at that time, dude, Moses is a really, really good coach.
Oh,
and
absolutely. He's still a stud.
yeah,
He's still a
man.
stud.
I remember those early days. I learned so much from training with Moses. Like I wasn't a stand-up fighter. I was a pure jiu-jitsu guy. And, you know, I had friends that were wrestlers that would, you know, I'd learn my wrestling from. But other than that, I didn't even try to learn stand-up, you know? And it took me some years before I even started going to boxing, man. But Moses really opened up a lot, and you know, great coach to work with.
Yeah,
man.
I think in the area, if you're trying to piece it together as far as MMA goes, he's the man.
Yeah,
like he's still working with people here and there out of the fucking kindness of his heart.
Yeah.
The dude was like, you know, like I couldn't pay, right? Like I wasn't working. I was trying to, you know, train and fight full time. This is like the story of all the fighters.
Right.
We're grinding.
Everyone was at that time. Yeah,
right. So I was like, hey, let's, you know, if I can run some classes, if I can help coach wrestling, you know, like, can you work with me? He's like, yeah, bro. We did that. We did a bunch of fights together. So I help him out there. He'll help me out to kind of stay in the game a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was there with him for about, I want to say 2 years.
Yeah.
Before some stuff went down, whatever it was, I don't know.
I feel like that gym was short-lived. It wasn't around that long.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't speculate. You know what I mean? Moses did great. You know, for raising the bunch of fighters we had.
Yeah.
But it wasn't sustainable.
There's no money in the fight game,
exactly.
dude.
It wasn't
Like,
sustainable.
The shitty thing about it, like, I mean, as much as you want to open your doors to all these MMA fighters, dude, fighting wasn't making the money and paying the bills.
No.
It's those, you know, mom and dads coming in with
their
kids.
Dude, for sure. And it's like, you know, that's what I'm saying, like, blessed guys like fucking Chad. Chad was trying to, like, promote Hooked on Endorphins and shit, you know what I mean? Then you guys got the guys in Sacramento doing all the promotion there. And then they would give us, you know, tickets, you know, parts of tickets, whatever it was. They couldn't really flat out pay us out, but we would earn our money that way and through endorsements and stuff.
Yeah, sponsors at the time.
Yeah,
I had a ton of sponsors, man. I remember blowing through that fucking sponsorship money.
Yeah,
like I was
so
a rich
quick.
man.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Ziggy's did a lot for a lot of the fighters around here.
Yeah.
Obermeistra, the cigar guys, you know what I mean? So
back in the day, Dominate Fightwear was a big one, and they'd be our clothing sponsors, give us shorts, rash guards, shirts, all that fun stuff.
You know, I think that's why I wish it was we're a little bit more mature at the time. We had Rocky. Rocky had the gift of the gab. Dude.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's a salesman, dude.
Yeah,
he
for
could sell
sure,
a
bro.
fight.
Yeah, he would. That boy would piss me off during training, but man, when it came down to stuff like that, like he was like that was Big Daddy right there.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I'll take care of it. You guys train.
Yeah.
So he would get all the connections, get this situated, get that situated.
Oh,
so
yeah.
in that capacity, dude, like that dude was our manager, man.
Yeah,
He
man.
was
He was really good, underrated, man. Like when we fought at the Amblers Club, that place was standing room only. Like it was full to capacity, dude.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I mean, I think he, just like us too, like, you know, it was like fucking midlife crisis, I think. You know what I mean? Fucking old ass dude trying to get in there and fight and shit. You know, he started late.
Yeah.
You know, and it transitioned to something beautiful. Like he fought and it wasn't for him. Mm-hmm. You know, it definitely wasn't lack of effort. That dude was going there scrapping with everybody and anybody, dude. And then he found Sensei Jason. He went to them for a little bit and then he just, you know, kind of made his path and he just got his black belt.
Yeah.
Kudos.
He really got into the jiu-jitsu scene. Like I think he quit fighting. Once he decided, all right, I'm done fighting, he really pursued the jiu-jitsu scene.
Yeah. I think he had like I want to say a 2-fight or a 1-fight contract with Bellator when they came in. They pick up local guys. Yeah. He did that and, you know, did his thing. So he's on some big stages. Yeah. And then him and his son, Jesse, they got together and it was kind of a cool thing, man. So, you know, we all know if you have kids, man, this such a
that's what it's
blessing,
about, right?
Bro, to be able to share the mats with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And raise monsters. You know, in his own right, Jesse's he's a man now, dude. Yeah. In the military. I follow him. We don't speak much, but you know, I'm always fucking praying for them. Again, Rocky's doing good.
He's a good guy,
good
you
dude,
know?
Man.
Good family.
Yeah.
He's always doing everything for his
family.
and
that was Sencal, dude. Mm-hmm. You know, Moses was dope. You know, Jen was dope.
Tim
McKenzie, my boy. You know what I'm saying? That dude's a goofball, biggest goofball, man. He can hit you real hard.
Yeah.
I've seen that guy light some fools up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so that's what it was. So it was sad that it was short lived.
Yeah.
But I definitely appreciated the time there. Yeah. That was some fucking monsters.
Dude, Rich was there.
Yeah, Rick Maiden.
Dude, that dude was a monster, bro. Do you remember when he threw that guy out of the ring?
Yeah.
That was the night I fought Rocky.
Yeah.
Rich threw, poor guy.
But the dude was like, Man, like we all know it. We
Yeah.
were thinking it. No one said it. That motherfucker did not belong in the ring with Richard, bro. They're pudgy as fuck, bro.
Do you remember
Yeah.
Chad pulled him out of the crowd?
Oh, no, I didn't remember that.
That was another pull him out of the crowd type situation.
So you want a fight situation,
Hey,
dude.
Chad's one of those salesmen too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I remember he went up and he's like, "Hey, I need a fighter about 200 pounds.
Yeah.
What's up? You want to throw some punches?"
The
The
guy's
dude's
like, "Yeah, sure."
All right, yeah, let me throw
Yeah.
a few. All right, I feel good.
Yeah.
He threw like 2 punches and was like, "I'm good."
Yeah.
And
That
it was
shit
like,
was wild, dude.
whoa.
That shit was wild.
Yeah.
Out the fucking thing. So Rich started developing over there too.
Yeah.
That's my guy, man. We traveled together. Went to Philly. He fought Sam something or Peasy over in Philly.
I felt like he was another one that should have been in the big time
Yeah.
shows, you know?
Look, if he's listening, I hope he
yeah,
does.
Yeah.
Fucking Richard, I love you, bro.
Yeah.
I've told you plenty of fucking times. Grapple.
Yeah.
Like, dude, one of your best friends, your fucking chief second, is like, you know what I mean? I'm good at grappling or wrestling at least. Like, we
Yeah.
can at least fucking do that. But he wants to strike, you know? And then, shit, these guys, it's MMA, dude.
Yeah.
It's MMA.
Yeah.
So
You
I
got to
lo-
have it all.
Yeah, I love the guy to death, but I was like, hey, dude, I can't do this. My fucking heart hurts
Yeah.
watching you get fucking clipped all the time, dude. Like, you should be fucking laying fools out. So,
Yeah.
again, some talent coming from that,
Oh,
that
yeah,
gym, man.
man.
So, you know, but we just couldn't get it together. Everyone has their job trying to grind through, and it's a hit and miss, you know what I mean? So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but the guys who did stay, like, it was crazy. Like I mentioned earlier, I think this guy should have made the show for sure. Charlie Sang,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Wrestled at the local high school, state qualifier, and then the JUCO champion
Wow.
over at Delta.
Yeah, that's
And
tough
then
too.
yeah, dude,
JUCO's tough.
He's tough. He's tough now. You know what I mean? And then we got into the fight game. He was fighting 35-45s.
Yeah.
I think he ended 4-1-0.
Wow.
Yeah, so pretty good. He's
Yeah.
beating people up, man. He's
Yeah.
beating people up solid. But again, he was young.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we didn't have much guidance. He was still trying to find his way too. But I think, you know, shout out to Charlie, man. I got his nephews now
Yeah.
over with us at the academy, and he helps out too.
Yeah.
So
That's
shout
good,
out, dude.
man. Like it's crazy. Like there's so many things in the fight game. Like if you think about it, like it's one wrong move from either everything going right or one wrong move from everything going
Yeah,
wrong. you
yeah. A
know?
lot of times,
Like,
man, when it goes wrong, you don't feel it.
Yeah, yeah.
You
And
get
people
up,
try
you're
to
like-
stay in a long time. You know,
Yeah.
that's the problem.
Yeah, I've seen guys, you know, won't mention no names, but from the same gym, he's kind of getting, I think Moses made his move. Guys come in trying to take over, and he's putting these fighters fucking in, and they're not ready.
Yeah.
Dude, you come in, you know, you're losing weight, great.
Yeah.
You're building your body, but the fight skill is zero.
Yeah.
So you lose 30 pounds, and you go fight, you get choked out, and then you're fucking grappling the ref.
Yeah.
After you've been warned, like, hey, bro, you're not ready yet.
Yeah.
You know, so it's crazy, dude. So it's a tightrope, man. If
Yeah.
you're trying to fucking raise fighters and you're trying to push out your fucking brand.
Yeah.
Like, hey, dude, you know, protect these guys.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times it's tough. Again, if it's gonna be like a money grab or whatever it is, for whatever reason they do it, like, slow the fuck down, man. Like, help these guys develop first before you put them in, because that shit, I saw too much of that stuff, man.
Yeah, they're always, you know, we were a little bit different the way we wouldn't allow our fighters to just fight. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it was something like we had to sign them on the fight team before.
Yeah.
In the early days, and we're talking like 05 to 07, you know.
Yeah.
Like we had a whole fight team with signed fighters, but you couldn't take a fight, like at least not repping our name.
Yeah, absolutely.
Until you were
yeah.
a signed fighter.
Yeah,
So,
I think a lot of people fell in love with the limelight.
yeah.
and then, like,
everyone was trying to make it.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure, man. And you know what I mean? Like, again, same thing. Like, yeah, you're trying to make it, but like, don't fucking throw these guys under the bus. I think they were trying to like run off of what Moses had built with the fight team, with, you know, Richard, like Tim, Rocky, myself, Charlie, Chris Cross when he was young.
Burton,
Burton when he was
He's
young.
still out there doing.
He's
his
still
thing,
out there.
yeah.
You know, he's tough. He had a tough
last
fight.
one,
Yeah,
yeah.
dude, took some elbows and shit. You know, but the kid still has crazy energy.
Yeah.
You know, can't even call him kid no more.
Yeah.
I think he's like late 20s, early 30s now.
He's
dude.
probably close to 30 now.
Yeah, we're fucking old dogs now. So we've been in the game for a while,
Yeah.
man. Watching these guys grow up,
Yeah, man.
seeing them end from the teens till like fucking low 30s, late 20s now. It's crazy.
So
But, yeah.
so going from MMA, like kind of, all right, we realize we're not making it to the UFC, right?
Yeah.
And where are we gonna go from here? And how do you get tied back into grappling?
Shit, dude. Like I did a stint with Stag. I was with her for 10 years. Took over. My boy was over there. My old coach. He had stepped back. Shout out Dre. So he's like, he needed somebody to take over. I was like, fuck, I don't even want to, man. So that pulled me away from training which, ultimately stopped me from fighting.
Yeah.
So, and I spent time with the kids there. Then you got a little chip on your shoulder, a little ego, like, hey, I know enough. I want to build a program. I want to show off and show up to my coaches. Like, hey, they raised a good kid.
Yeah.
This is like pretty much like the ripple effects of them from 95, 96.
Yeah, full circle, right?
Yeah, full circle for sure. So I go in there and it's kind of a struggle. We're not mainstream sports. You know what I mean? Like, fucking wrestling's tough, man. It's straight blue.
It's a grind.
Blue collar work. The limelight isn't too bright either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just solely for you.
Yeah.
It builds great characteristics of people, but outside that shit, it's nothing, dude. There's no glamour in that stuff, right? So I'll go there, give my 10 years. We had some good kids come out of there. We had a couple of state qualifiers. My last few years, I had one of my kids, Jose Gonzalez. He's over at Dickinson State. Shout out. That's my son. He's out there doing his thing, you know what I mean? Made the state. Just started freshman year, grinded out. Had a couple other kids, girls, make it to state. And then we were blessed with like a drop off. You know what I'm saying? Like this kid comes from Escalon. Sam, heavyweight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The guy keeps on telling me, I'm good, coach. I'm good. Whatever, dude.
Show me.
Yeah, show me. Then he's injured, or he's cutting down to whatever. He doesn't make the weight minimum just yet. And then finally, when he does show up, this dude fucking kills everybody with some basic ass shit. And then I'm thinking, damn, dude, you're pretty fucking good, like you said, dude. And then we end up like, we started the season late, but we're in the finals. We're in the fucking state finals, wrestling a fucking monster of a fucking child.
Yeah.
The kids over at
Heavyweight's
Iowa,
crazy,
heavyweight,
right?
yeah, dude. But it's like night and day the way they were built, right?
Right.
But Sam wasn't a punk. You know, his first go with me in the finals, I just wanted him to kind of show the people like, hey, he's a lot more than what was out there, you know?
Yeah.
And then I left, just taking a break, just burnt out from it all, right?
Yeah.
Spent some time with the family. And then Sam goes back again. He's in the finals again.
Yeah.
And it's controversial of this shit. You got to watch the video, some calls. But Sam almost gets this kid, dude. And this dude's like, the kid is tough.
Yeah.
Like I say, he's wrestling college now. He's one of the better kids out there. But, and that's how I ended my my career over that stag, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had some support.
Yeah.
The ADs, I went to the two ADs. They were great, Espinoza and Nguyen. They were good dudes. But ultimately, like I said, it's blue-collar stuff.
Yeah.
You couldn't get the numbers out, man. It's tough, And then if you're lucky, you get the kids for 4 years, 4 seasons. Right? If you're lucky, fingers crossed. So you got to develop these guys quick. And then if you're even luckier, you'll get them to commit over at least one summer to build it up.
Right.
But then, I'm also an advocate of, like, multi-sports.
Right.
Like, hey, you don't get these 4 years back. Do what you can.
Yeah.
But if you have goals, you're going to take some sacrifice,
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks, man. Like, kudos to all the coaches out here in the area that build these kids up from freshman year, and then they're successful. You know what I mean? It's 4 short years. So now
it really goes by really quick.
Yeah, so damn fast, man. It's like preseason, a couple of preseason tournaments, and then like their regular season's like 3 weeks long, or some shit like that, right? Like they got these duels, the tri meets, and then they go to postseason, and it's done.
Yeah,
it seems like obviously the off season is a lot longer, so that's when you develop. But you don't get these kids, right? So now I'm thinking, all right, fuck, I got my son, I missed out on his window. I'm training other kids. I got another son coming up. I need to find a spot. During the COVID days, there's a place called The Shed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bob
I've
opened
been there.
it. Yeah. It's a pretty amazing spot. A lot of people took advantage of that.
Is it still going? Or
No, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. When
It's
it was
in
there.
the hood. Yeah.
Yeah, man, Alpha Wilson, brother.
Yeah. Far East restaurant.
Yeah, dude, right behind that thing. Right? I'm like, I'm at the right spot.
Yeah.
And you smell the fucking garlic, and then they're like processing like veggies or some shit. Climb up the stairs, you're like, dude, it's trippy. It's really like a fucking shack.
Oh, yeah,
you go through the doors and it's.
It reminded me of the slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
The ice house or whatever. Yeah.
So it's like upstairs, so all the fucking heat rises up. It's hot as hell, but it was a place where wrestlers can be at while during the COVID season.
Yeah.
Right. So that was a cool spot. Got there, not much of a leadership there, but there was an open mat. You know, they were trying to shuffle around. Bob Whitaker was the man that kind of hooked everything up there. He didn't have time; he had to work.
But there was never like a set coach. Right?
Yeah,
it was
never
always
set
just
coach,
kind of who was there to help out.
Yeah. And that's a big thing too, right? Like for the sport, like you need someone committed.
Yeah.
It's hard to find committed individuals. So sometimes the ones who are committed aren't really there for the kids. You know what I mean? So. But we got there, you know what I mean? And then I was like, you know what? I need to open my own spot, man.
Yeah.
You know, so some things went down, partnered up with some folks. That didn't work out. And then I found my way to St. Mary's.
Yeah.
So now we're here, man.
Man.
We're in our third season. I'm up to like, I don't know, I want to say like 70 something kids, something like that. You know what I mean? Attendance is super.
Hey, dude, you have a really awesome program, and I got to check it out firsthand. And, you know, you guys start out in the warm-up room.
Yeah.
That room is, I mean, crowded, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you are running out of
Yeah.
space. That's how many kids you
Yeah.
got. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, we had to kind of tell the parents, it was like this week or last week, I said, hey, look, man, just drop them off.
Yeah.
Once the high schoolers get out and we funnel to the big room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was, you know, I was blessed to have that spot. Jim Sheeran, Randy Holberg, they were in the St. Mary's coaching staff. That gave me an opportunity to go over there, you know, to expand, right? So obviously I needed it. I couldn't house 30 kids anymore. And then like it was like 30 to 60 to 70 to 80.
Yeah. It grows quick, right?
Quick, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and it's crazy because we haven't really like advertised.
Yeah.
It's all word of mouth. I kind of kept under the radar, you know, grind the kids out. The biggest difference with our program right now, and you're seeing it, we're year round, right? I'm taking the approach of like a jiu-jitsu, like a martial arts.
Yeah.
Like wrestling is a martial arts.
Yeah, it is,
you know what I mean?
100%.
You know, so I think a lot of times the sports isn't used to what we're charging, right? So a lot of times it's free, but then you get kids who aren't really committed, parents aren't committed. But, you know, you get introduced to the sport. And then you get some like 2 days a week. That's like the standard.
Yeah.
3 days a week, an hour, hour and a half. Can't get shit done.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking, all right, we're late starting this. I need to catch up. So what's going to do that? Fucking 4 days a week.
Yeah.
2 hours a day on schedule.
100%. Though,
On schedule. So when my kids are like fucking 6 days a week, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and there's no bullshitting. We don't have fun here. We don't have fun here. It's all fucking work.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy.
But that's how you're really going to develop great
Yeah.
wrestlers,
Yeah.
you know, and that's obviously what your mission is to do. Like,
Yeah,
you're not just trying to
absolutely.
put people out there, you know, that aren't
Yeah.
talented. Like, you're definitely trying to teach them
Yeah.
the right way.
It's cool. I have a very important role, I think, as their first coach, as a youth coach.
Yeah.
Right? This is the foundation.
Huge.
So it's my job to coach them up as best I can before they get to their next coach, their high school coach, and it's going to be a college coach, hopefully.
Yeah.
And hopefully even further, like Olympic hopefuls, right?
Yeah.
We got this kind of talent. There's a bunch of talent in this area.
Dude.
It's crazy.
I say it all the time,
Yeah.
man. Like, this area is a fight town.
Yeah.
And, you know, whether it be wrestling, martial arts,
Yeah.
you know, jiu-jitsu, like it's here, man. And boxing, you
Yeah.
know, boxing's huge here,
Yeah.
dude. Our
Man.
roots in this town are crazy.
Yeah, it's fight town for sure, man.
Yeah.
Port City's some fucking hitters out here, you
Yeah.
know. And now, what's exploding now is this grappler hybrid, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone who does jits is starting to wrestle now because if you don't,
Oh yeah, you're
it's
gonna
a
get
huge,
smoked.
it's a
Yeah.
huge disadvantage,
Yeah.
right? If you're doing gi, no gi, whatever it is, you need wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, so I think when we came out, it wasn't really like popular. We had a couple of clubs out here in Stockton. We had Stockton Elite, we had Port City.
Yeah.
Those are the two main ones.
Stockton Elite's been around for a long time.
Yeah,
right?
man. One of my old buddies, man, he moved out of state. Harold Bassage, man, he ran that for a bit. I think it was someone else before him.
Yeah.
But as far as I can remember, it was him
Yeah.
off season. He ran out of Bear Creek, and then I think out of St. Mary's a little bit too. So they kind of fizzed out, man. Again, like the old dog has to pass the torch, but
Right.
it's like who's there to grab it,
Yeah,
right? You can't find a
exactly.
committed
Somebody's
dude.
got to be there to grab it.
Yeah. So then that kind of phased out. Port City had more of like high schoolers for off season, you know, but it wasn't like up. So I was in a good spot. I was like, fuck, let me get this shit going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm in a good spot. Let me get these kids. I'm committed. I know what we need to do. Again, the job is important, man. I got to teach foundation. They got to have some standards. Like, again, back to high school stuff. You got 4 years with them. And when I was a coach, I'm fucking fingers crossed. I'm praying I get a stud,
Right.
you know?
Somebody that has something, right?
Some experience, yeah. And sometimes that's not all good either, right?
Right.
Because
Bad
the
habits.
coaches, exactly.
Yep.
The coaches don't do their job. You pass it on to the next coach, and this motherfucker's like 10 years in and knows 2 moves.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or there may be a coach that's just not as committed as you are, right?
Yeah.
And just kind of going through the motions of it. And
Yeah, and it dude is a grinder.
Yeah.
You know, bless these coaches that fucking do youth and high school.
Yeah.
7
yeah,
days,
dude.
7 days
That's
a
a
week.
grind.
7 days a week from fucking October
Yeah.
all the way to like May. So you get June, July off. Maybe August to prep, and then you're fucking back in the grind.
Yeah.
7 days a week.
And that's weekends too. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what
And
people
you
don't
know,
understand.
So yeah, so for the folks out there, you know, you guys have the youth wrestling. You guys go there, you weigh in, you're in and out 4 hours. You know, you got your 6U, 8U, 10U kids.
Yeah.
They're done by like noon. And then you get your 12, 14 middle school. You're done by 2 or 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, these fucking high schoolers, man, you go there, you meet at campus, 5 o'clock, you drive to the site, weigh in, you wrestle all fucking day, shoot back at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's your
Dude,
whole day.
That's the whole day. So, you know what I mean? As a head coach or any coach, really,
Yeah.
that's a Saturday, sometimes Friday, Saturday tournaments. And then Sunday, you get the kids. And then Monday, back to the grind.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Bless their hearts.
Yeah, it's a wild, to be a wrestling coach, you got to really be committed to
Yeah,
it.
a little crazy.
Yeah.
It's definitely a fucking, like, passion. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You got to have passion for it, man. Like, it's crazy because it can get exhausting. Like, you know, you get these coaches, like you say, like, the energy's not there.
Yeah.
And it's not their fault. It's just, dude, you need help.
Yeah.
You know, but again, not all help is good help.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm in a fantastic spot, man. I got some parents helping me out. They're learning it as they go. I have no qualms about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have a curriculum we all follow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the basic, at least. And then I think the biggest thing that I try to tell them is be coachable, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Outside of everything else that goes in between, you got to be coachable.
Yeah.
Don't fucking leave our spot and then go into the next coach and like, well, my old coach told me this. Hey, chill out. Respect the master. Respect the room. Respect the coach. Whoever the sensei is, respect them. You know what I mean? And I make it clear that, hey, the lingo's going to be different. And every camp has a little bit different lingo.
Right.
But grappling's grappling. Wrestling's
Yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then one of the biggest things that separate us is the details, small details. That's it. How you convey the message to the kids, you know, and the culture we built there. It's like, hey, dude, like, it's cool. I'm a hard ass when it comes to it, but then I also care about the kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I'm gonna yell at you out loud and then, like, you know, fucking discipline you for doing the shit wrong, you best believe I'm gonna love you out loud when you do the shit right.
Right.
You know, so I
100%.
think the kids understand that. They trust us. They trust the staff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's pretty cool.
Now, managing, you know, that many kids at one point can be overwhelming, right? Especially because you're trying to put a lot into it, right? You're
Yeah.
really trying to develop these kids,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, you can only get so much from your staff and your parents. Like,
Yeah.
what's your approach to kind of working with, you know, the top people in the room or
Yeah.
a majority of the people in the room to where they
Man.
get good training?
Yeah, what a question, dude. So I lucked out when I first started. They were all brand new, so it's foundation work. Everyone's on the same thing. Like, I run the curriculum strict.
Yeah.
So now I'm in a mixed class, like you said. You've seen it. I got some solid kids. I got kids who are just learning. I got some brand new kids. What we did this season was we opened up a 12-week program for beginners.
Okay.
Get them kind of at least the basics,
Right.
and then go right into season. And then I tell them they all understand this. During season, we don't really learn too much. We drill and we adjust. It's the off season that we learn a lot. You know what I mean? So during the season, I tell the parents, hey, look, sometimes you're going to get ran over a little bit. You know, you're going to fall behind. If you're okay with that, then you can come in. I closed down enrollment, you know, twice. I opened it up again. I was like, I'm a softy, dude. It's like, come on, coach, I got this kid, you know. So I let him in, but then I tell him, hey, dude, like, you know, you're 8 weeks behind. You're super behind. So, one, have patience for your child. I don't want you yelling at your fucking kid because he doesn't know what, you know, Johnny over there fucking knows. Like, have some patience. No, I have patience. I understand. Sometimes I'm a little intense because of the time. Like, we're on a time schedule because it's
strict
season.
time schedule. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So we got, like, we wrestle for USA Wrestling, our association, SJWA, and then we also wrestle for SUA. That's another promotion. World of Wrestling, and then I'm forgetting one off the top of my head. But those states and qualifiers, TOCs, it's all coming to a head right now, and they're all bunched up within like maybe 6 weeks of each other.
Yeah.
So during season, like, okay, I know you're new, but I talked to you about it already.
Yeah.
So you get ran over. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So if this
gonna be
isn't for
tough
you, it's
little-
gonna be tough.
yeah.
Right. So I
Just
get
be
to,
prepared for
yeah.
how tough it's going to be.
yeah, so I get to my experienced kids like, hey, look, we're on the grind. You guys got to represent. This is you. This is us. Let's do this shit, you know, and they're all for it, you know. Amazing kids, amazing parents. They know what it takes. They understand that we aren't just a club.
Yeah.
We're an actual academy.
Yeah,
It's a school of wrestling.
Yeah.
I think I know for a fact, at least in this area, there's no fucking curriculum packets being passed out.
Yeah.
Right, so I pass out my curriculum packets. Hey, look, you know, this is
Study
like
it,
study
yeah.
it. This is like all the lingo. This is like year one stuff. It'll take you that long to perfect it, you know, or a little bit longer, and that's fine. And ultimately, there's like 13 packets.
Yeah.
And this has been developed over the last like almost three decades.
Wow.
Right. So
Yeah.
like I told you a while back.
Is this something like you personally typed out yourself?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Bounced some ideas with some friends. You know, we sat there, say how, you know, pretty much storytelling of wrestling, right? How does it start?
Yeah.
On your feet. All right. What's on your feet? This, and this. And we break down the body parts, uppers, lowers, mids, attacking body parts. And then we go to the next position, you know?
Yeah.
Then you wrap it back around. You're like, all right, the advanced guys can do this. So now you're in block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4. You know what I mean? Like, so here's a quick example, like what the kids are working on right now. And it's no secret to what we do. It's just we scaffold it when it's like it's built up and it's a story.
Yeah.
Count to 1 to 10.
You got to develop it,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. And no matter where I drop you off, you understand. Like if I drop you off at 4, I should go back 2. You know, it's 2, right? So that's the kind of the curriculum we work at. So right now, our lower body attacks, basic stuff, sweep, high C's, doubles. If I say, hey, kiddos, let's go hit your lowers from this tie up, they know, okay, coach at lowers, the lowers is sweep, high C, double. Then I'll say uppers, and then they'll go, you know, shucks and ducks, whatever our uppers are, you know, and there's mid body attacks, and then that's it. And it's just the reps.
Yeah.
There's no secret to it, man. Like the kids, like they know it.
Yeah.
There's no time to BS. Get your reps in, you know, and get more. If you think you had enough, no, get more. And then we also teach like kind of emulate matches. So as I'm teaching, I'm yelling how I would out there, so they know it.
You got to get used to it, right?
Yeah. You know, and they can hear me. I have a nasally voice. Like, you can hear me from across the fucking gym, dude. Right? So I'm like, hey, dude, like do this, and then boom, and then we emphasize on growth and not the win-loss column.
Right.
You know, it just so happens the byproduct of what's happening, what we're doing on the fucking win column, right? But when they do lose, some of the kids take it hard.
Right.
But I get to talk to them and kick them out of it. You know what I mean? But it's mostly development, man. Like my job, like I said, it's important. I gotta make sure I develop these kids for the next level.
Yeah.
So, and then our mindset is, when you're in junior high, you should be able to compete with the high schoolers.
Yeah.
When you're in high school, you should be able to compete with the college guys. That way, you stay one step ahead.
That's a good approach, though.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know, I've heard, I had my buddy Greg on, and he was talking about it, and he said there were some 8th graders in there wrestling with the freshmen, and they were whooping ass.
Yeah.
But it's so true though. Like if you could stay a step ahead, and develop these kids the right way, like your job is so important in so many different aspects, because like a kid could literally hate wrestling because of you.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Man.
And
yeah,
that would
definitely
be the worst possible thing. So
Yeah.
you're in a nurturing point to where you got to really have them fall in love with wrestling too.
Yeah, you definitely is a fine balance, man. Again, it's like tightrope walking, man. You got these kids, you know, can I yell at them a certain way? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think they get the idea now. Like it doesn't matter if you're 18 or 8 or 6 or 5. Like I'm in your face.
Yeah.
But I do, like I said, if I yell at them, like, you know, discipline, when they do succeed, I'm like way louder.
Yeah.
I want to make sure, like, hey, it's not just because you did it wrong doesn't mean I'm upset. I'm upset because I think you can do better.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. But, you know, having 8th graders battle with high schoolers, and everyone's like, what? So we took our kid, Josh Garcia. Man, remember that name for sure. Josh Garcia. We took him out to the Bay. He wrestled NCS's, I think, last year's champion, kids in high school. Our kid's 12. We barely lose by 1, but we fried some kid, some I think from Tracy or something like that. But they didn't realize like how young he is, and you can't even tell.
Yeah.
Like I didn't believe him. Like when he first came to us, he was in 5th grade. I was like, "There's no way you're a 5th grader, dude. Like you're built like a man already, dude.
Yeah.
Solid kid. Very very coachable. Has a great community behind him, so I think he's gonna develop just fine. And you see it, right? Like I've coached hundreds of kids. Been in the sport for a long time.
Yeah.
This kid, you know, fingers crossed. You know what I mean? From my mouth to the universe, man. This guy's a D1 kid and probably more, dude.
Yeah.
It's insane how good he is. And that's the kind of caliber we have stewing in our program.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From like our 6U, every single group we have a plethora of like weight classes.
Mm-hmm.
And every group has like a hitter. There's no easy groups.
Yeah.
In our academy.
That's how it should be, right?
Yeah,
That's what
absolutely.
at least what we want.
Yeah,
right? As
yeah,
a
we
coach.
want that, and we have kids different like skill sets, but ultimately like, you got to step up. Like you're next in line, and you can't back out, dude.
Yeah.
And so everyone takes their lumps, dude.
Do you feel like there's an influx in parents seeking out wrestling for their kids? Like in the past few years, like I've noticed it seems like it's like more common, right?
Yeah, I want to say it's because of the growing of the girls wrestling.
Yeah.
Right. They're broadcasting it out there. They're putting out there like, hey, girls wrestling's growing by like 300, 400, 500, 600% in high school. And then now obviously that we're doing this outside of the programs I said earlier, there was no other wrestling program like this. I know a couple of JIT schools, they want to implement it, but there wasn't really anybody who knew it in this depth. Yeah. To blend it. Like we're talking about the JIT schools, right? Yeah. We mentioned earlier, there's one cat in the area right now. We know you're not your dude, Alika Foster, dude. That dude's a fucking
he blends it
monster.
very well.
Yeah. So like I said, he wrestled when he was younger. He got the USA Wrestling, did high school wrestling, went to the military, came back, devoted himself to jits. Yeah. You know what I mean? All the cats.
I'm so glad he didn't go MMA, man.
He did one fight, right? He did one fight.
One fight. I trained with him for it, like going into it.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad he didn't pursue that, man.
Yeah.
Because he is a great jiu-jitsu coach and a great instructor and
dude,
great competitor.
All around, just a fucking dope human being, dude. And you hear like he puts out his videos now, and just the way he speaks, his mannerism. Yeah, it's all detailed. And like I said, because of the influx of the wrestling, I think if you're gonna go anywhere, it would be that full spot. Man.
Oh yeah, dude.
He's out in Tracy. Check him out, man.
Yeah, he's a good person too. Like just wholehearted. He's really committed to what he's doing.
Yeah, committed to the children, committed to the kids, man. Committed to the growth of it. You know what I mean? Understands. And but then he also has this fucking sharp razor edge. Like cross him. Yeah. See what happens. Yeah, dude. And he has a bunch of like young adults. Yeah. Like he's fucking pretty much.
He's building a team of killers, man.
Absolutely. He really is. Absolutely. And while having fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they're having a good time. Dude. Yeah. So recently he started putting out these videos on YouTube, and they're like behind the scenes of JG Tracy or something, bro.
Club Tracy.
But I love them, man. Yeah. I love them. They're just acting a fool sometimes, doing stupid shit.
And they can do that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I envy the youth, man. It's wild what they can do. But that guy right there, great kid, man.
So nowadays we see a lot of stuff on YouTube and all over Instagram, and like parents freaking out at tournaments. There's competitors that get into fist fights afterwards, and I mean a lot of it's jiu-jitsu tournaments, but it does happen in wrestling too. Yeah. Have you ever experienced anything crazy like that at a recent wrestling tournament?
I mean, not with us. I know when I first started, and this is with the Qs, the Corals, man. Shout out, I love them to death, man. Kobe and Dre, and their kids, Kobe and Maya, right? They got there. They came from BBB. Yeah. They still, technically we're still kind of tied into them. Well, they are. So they come from jits. To better their jits, they come to wrestling, right? And they're just small. We get in there, we scrap with some kids from Madeira. And, man, this shit goes crazy. The kids wrestle off into the fucking hardwood. Yeah. And their kids just not listening, dude. And I'm thinking, oh, shit. You know what I mean? We're about to scrap, dude. Yeah. This guy's got those fucking cauliflower ears on their side. You know what I mean? You can tell they're dual grapplers and shit. Yeah. And we're going back and forth, dude. And I'm thinking, holy shit, we're going to fucking fight, dude. Like, and I see my parents step up. You know what I mean? I'm like, good, dude, good. I mean, that's probably the closest we got to scrapping on our end. But obviously some voice, some exchanges of words, But we try to keep it for the kids, man, because like I said, they got to be there. I got like 20, 30 kids out on a floor at one time, and it's only like a few of us. So if we get knocked off because we're doing some bullshit like that,
some stupid shit, right? And it's gonna look bad on your program.
Yeah, well, I don't even care about that. Fuck it. They can think what they want to think, but I'm more like, hey, dude, like I want to be there for my kids. I need these kids to rely on me for now. Yeah, they're still babies, so I don't want to get thrown out. Yeah, but at the same time, like
you're gonna advocate for them too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I'm a fucking punk, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I ain't gonna take that shit.
Yeah, dude. Like, if we're gonna do it, do it. If not, just fucking stay in your lane, dude. If you wanna scrap, let's scrap. If not, just fucking move on, dude. Yeah. That's all it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, we're too old for this shit, the back and forth banter. Right. It happens. You know what I mean? But I'm glad that I have some parents who are down to fucking scrap. And I have some parents who understand, like, hey, chill. That's kind of cool, man. You got parents that I lose my shit, and I'll feel a little tap on my shoulder. Is either a parent or my son. Yeah. You know what I mean? Tristan, I love him to death, man. I love you, boy. He's been with it. You know what I mean? Just like me, dude. Fucking step by step. Fucking late bloomers. You know what I mean? But he's great with the kids. He knows his shit. That's my right hand man, dude. So
Yeah.
having him to be kind of like the fucking gentle hand when I start losing my shit, it's perfect. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Dude. It's fucking wild how I know coaches can fucking understand this. We can raise other people's kids, but it's so fucking hard to coach your own, dude.
Yeah.
It's wild, dude.
Yeah,
You know?
a lot of people have that issue, man. Like my
Yeah.
daughter's too young right now, but I'm thinking of somebody in particular right now, and he brings his kid into practice. He's like, "You work with them."
Yeah, dude.
I can't
Yeah.
do it, man.
Yeah, so that's what I'm tasked with, right? So,
Yeah.
I got these parents, and the kids love me. I love them, man, and we're a good tandem, But I look at my son, I love him to death, the little guy Chase.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, fuck. You know what I mean? I tell my boys, like, hey, dude, grab him, dude.
Yeah.
Grab him. And that's what kind of pushed me too, man. Like, I had to make the decision, like, in the area right now, is there any coaches I can trust with my son? And the answer was no.
Yeah.
The guys that I did want to, they were at a coaching capacity and they were busy.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have time for them. So I couldn't ask that of them. So I was like, fuck it. The only thing we can do now is just fucking open up our own shit.
Yeah, man.
So-
Sometimes you get forced into it, right? You're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
It may have not been the original goal, but
Yeah.
sometimes these things are tasked upon us.
Yeah.
You know?
And then, like, look at how many lives are changing, right?
Yeah.
And then fucking no doubt, like, I've made some fucking poor choices growing up. You know what I mean? I got to tip the scales back.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
think this is the best way, right? So instead of me going to do a bunch of good, I teach a bunch of kids and they go do
Yeah.
good and it's multiplied.
Oh, yeah.
Fingers crossed that's how it works, right? So
Right.
got to tip the scales back a little bit.
I'll tell you what, man. It's bound to a fruit tree puts off good fruit, right? And it's seasonal, so
Yeah.
you got to just keep putting out that good fruit. you
Yeah,
know?
man, that's it. I mean, shit, man, we're talking about these kids, man. It's wild. I mean, like, we're wrecking in this area right now. We won a couple of championships. Again, this is our third season.
Yeah.
Stepping our third season. So, fucking, you can look at it as like their junior year in high
Yeah.
school, right?
You guys
And
are just getting started.
we're
Remember?
just getting started,
Yeah.
baby, man. It's wild. Shit, I think out of the 3 years, I think I might have taken two weeks off.
Yeah.
So I told myself last July, I was like, hey, I'm going to take July off, guys. And the fucking parents just laughed at me pretty much like, yeah, whatever, dude. It's like, no, man, I'm going to spend some time with my family. You know what I mean? I need some time with them. 2 weeks in, I'm like, hey, what the fuck are you guys doing, dude? Let's go back in.
Have you ever gotten burnt out? Like,
I'm tired, but never burnt out to the point where I want to like say, fuck it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? No,
Yeah.
never that. Not with these kids, man. There's too many good kids with good energy and good intent
Yeah.
that it's almost impossible to feel that way.
yeah.
It's wild because I'll get in there, I'll have a long day. That's my sanctuary, man. I have a long day at work or whatever it is. I'll be kind of pissy. They'll feel a little bit of it. They're like, oh shit, coach is kind of mad. But then ultimately, like, it just dies out, man. Then I'm in coaching mode.
Yeah.
And this is it. This is where I love being.
Same thing, regardless what happens in the day, when I come in here to teach a class, like
Yeah.
everything goes out the window. Like, dude,
Yeah.
my whole mind gets clear. Like, I
Yeah,
start getting
yeah.
into the zone as soon as I walk through
Yeah.
the doors.
Yeah, man. They keep you so straight. They keep you bound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bound to the ground, fucking grounded to earth. And like, hey, look, just chill, dude. Like, all the other bullshit's just bullshit.
Yeah.
So that sounds cool, man. So, it's a grind. I have a handful of kids. We call the hitters.
Yeah.
They get, fucking, I'll say it. They get special treatment as far as like extra hours, extra days.
Mm-hmm.
Only because, and all these kids can be in that group. They just got to be able to understand the curriculum and be at the level where I don't have to babysit.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't have to babysit you and you know the stuff, we got a mission, we got a goal, we're traveling, then come through.
Yeah.
It's invite only,
Yeah.
But again,
You got to have those, though.
yeah, I gotta have those days, right?
Yeah.
I gotta develop these kids. Again, during season, we got so much mixture of talent that these kids sometimes get held back.
Yeah.
So I get those extra days with them. So I'll have that.
And you're limited with how many years you get with them, right? So
Yeah, absolutely.
you gotta make sure if they
Yeah.
are excelling, they're excelling at a little bit higher pace. They
Yeah.
got to be able to.
Yeah.
It's like I was in gate classes.
Yeah.
Growing up,
Yeah.
and it sucked for me. I always felt like it was a punishment because
Yeah.
I scored good on some
Yeah.
tests, so now I got to do more schooling than everyone else.
Yeah.
So it sucked, but
Yeah.
like. When you think of it as a wrestling aspect and you're excelling a little bit higher than the class, you're going to get a little bit extra attention, a little bit extra work here and there.
Yeah, and it's and I say this to even my coaches and shit. My boy takes this up now. He says it to his kids. Shout out to Nick Harris from Edison, man. We play favorites.
Yeah.
and I
You get
favor
favorites.
hardworking kids, and that shit's day to day. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You can't be fucking working hard 3 days a week and expect the same treatment when you're shit for 2 days. You know?
Oh,
So
yeah.
every day it resets.
Yeah.
So I get these kids, my favorites. They're in there. They're fucking working their ass off. I say, hey, look, do this, do this, do this, and now it's like it's a fucking oiled machine. They're going. I don't have to babysit, and then they'll come ask the right questions. A lot of the new kids, again, we're young, 3 seasons in. They don't know how to ask the right questions just yet, but this group does. And on top of that, we've built like what has become like a travel ball environment, right? So we went to Tulsa. Fuck, what a wake up call. We have some good kids, you know what I mean? We placed. It's a national tournament, but the difference with this next level that they need to get to is aggression. We wrestle within the means of the rules, right? When we do the moves, but these kids, they do it to fucking punish you, dude. They're scoring man points, dude. Like, their moves hurt fucking twice as hard, dude, right? So it's like, everyone can arm bar, everyone can whatever, but like, this guy's arm bar is fucking way tighter, dude. Like that, brother. Tighter. Yeah, dude. So that's like a fucking AC tear type of arm bar and shit. You know, more for Kimura or some shit, right? But the guys in the Midwest over at Tulsa, man, they don't fuck around, dude.
Yeah.
They're pretty damn good. It's solid coaching team, solid kids, and they're about it. It's almost hard to view them as kids because they're just fucking
because they
jacked,
wrestle like men.
Dude. Yeah, they're jacked, dude. So that's kind of cool to see the sport still thriving.
Yeah.
And then to be able to bring our kids from a small town and compete with those guys. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
I think that wrestling right now is in the early stages. Like, I think that like what's happening is our generation that wrestled and we're athletic and you know we're starting to become parents. You know, our kids are getting into those wrestling ages. You know, those MMA guys in the early 2000s are getting kids that are in that wrestling age group now.
Shit, I know, man. We ran the circuit a while back, so we got adult children and they're starting their families now. We're old dogs now, dude. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a reset. Yeah. But I love the fact that we are building the area. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say it is, but I kind of want to say it is, man. We're a fucking catalyst for what's happening right now.
Dude, no matter how you look at it, we're involved. We're involved with today's modern scene of grappling. Yeah. And that's just how we have to look at it. You, me, like Rocky, everybody, dude. Yeah. Tim McKenzie, like he's in obviously Idaho, but he's still involved with this generation of grappling.
In one aspect or another, we're just happening to finding ourselves in a coaching capacity because these fucking bones hurt.
It's wild, man. It's wild.
Yeah, but I think it's amazing what we're doing. We're still active in the game in a capacity where I think I just blessed, dude. Like I would love to have competed a little longer.
I would have too.
But just the way it is, man. But now I love my competition is pretty much with the other coaches now. Yeah. Right. I see.
It's a different type of competition.
Oh yeah, man.
Right?
It's a fucking chess match, dude. Yeah. And week in, week out, I get to test it, man. So these kids are fucking amazing, dude. They allow me to do that stuff. I'm still competitive, but through them. But
through the kids,
yeah,
right?
through the kids. But I'm not like living through them. I'm more like they're my pride and joy, man. Like it was hard for me to speak about myself. But if you want to talk about the children,
you can go all day,
let's
right?
Fucking go, dude. Yeah.
Seeing others succeed, there's something about it. It releases some sort of endorphins when you put time into a kid or an adult even, you know, and you see them go through a hard battle and succeed. Yeah. There's some sort of pride, man, that like it's a different feeling than you could win an Olympic title and you're not going to feel that same way as seeing someone you put time into.
Seeing the light bulb go on. They got that fucking aha moment. They have this look.
Breakthrough.
Yeah, they're like, fuck, hey, coach, it does. It makes sense now. Yeah. And I was like, hey, that's what I'm talking about, man. You know what I mean? This is why we're here. It's not fun all the time. It can be, but but when you get that aha moment, fuck, bro, it doesn't matter if they're 6 years old, 5 years old, 10, 12, high school. You know what I mean? Like right now, the high schools are in season. But I've allocated a day, like my day off. Yeah. My one fucking day off. I allocate to the kids, right? So they do come. I got some high schoolers working with us, you know what I mean? Right now it's predominantly the girls and shit. Shout out to them for putting in so much work off season, man.
A lot of growth in girl wrestling, man.
So St. Mary's got a fucking solid girl, man. Alana Harwell. She's going. They got a big tournament this weekend. Lincoln has one of our kids, Bella. I think they're not doing anything this weekend. They might have got hurt. It's been a grinder, dude. Yeah. She's been grinding for like 3 fucking years. Wow. Emily, Then I got a couple of kids outside the city. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's the girls, right? So,
Were there any girls on your wrestling team growing up?
fuck no, dude. I think we might have had 2 girls I remember distinctively. One from Edison. I think her name was VJ. And then we have Melissa from Tokay.
Yeah. Not many of them out
no,
there, right?
not at all, man.
And to see where it is now, like, I mean, 15, 20 years later, right? I mean, 25 years later.
25 years.
No, but seeing where everything's at now, that's crazy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's insane. So you talk to the girls like years ago, even the girls I had, excuse me, they're like in their late 20s now. They made it to state, you know what I mean? And you put them against these girls now, they'd get fried.
Yeah.
Yeah, like each passing generation has those few champions. Like they can like fucking battle within any decade.
Right.
But the majority of the field, everybody's better. It's wild, man.
What do you think that's equated to? Like, what do you think the growth in girls wrestling comes from? Do you think it possibly has to do with the Ronda Rouseys and the MMA
Oh, fucking
scene?
absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's, when you're on that kind of platform and you see the strong women standing up and she's fucking big, you got the whole fucking crowd behind her, it starts to plant seeds everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? And then with all the colleges giving these scholarships, it's a segue, right? It's a segue. You wrestle well, that takes you to college, you get your education.
Yeah.
Boom, there it is. And then for a long time, kids would chase that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's tough, man. When you start late, sometimes they chase it to get to college and they don't love it no more.
Yeah.
But again, it's a segue for education. So I think that's where the boom is. So it may start that way.
I feel like that's with any sport, though. I know baseball players that
Yeah.
they'll try to chase the college dream, and then they'll play in college and they hate it. you know?
Yeah. But to start the boom with the girls or just wrestling in general, I think with girls, I think it's that, man. I think it's all the women who are doing all these awesome things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the Olympics.
Yeah.
They start seeing these faces now, and they're like, "Fuck it, dude." You
Yeah.
know what I mean? They can do
That
it.
that young lady, Amit.
Oh yeah, Middle-Lore. Yeah,
my
yeah.
gosh. And she's local.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so she does all the Reno World stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they got all the old stuff posting up. You see it, and she's young, and she's an Olympic champion. And people used to fucking look at me crazy when I see these kids. I'm like, dude, that's an Olympian.
Isn't she like 17 years old, 16 years old?
No, I think
something
she's
like
a little older.
Okay.
I believe she's
She's
a
young,
young
though.
adult.
Yeah.
Right? 18, 19.
Okay.
But I've been saying that with the right environment and the right staff, you can develop these kids in a hurry.
Yeah.
Right? And people are like, nah, you're fucking crazy. Like, no, dude. Like, there's some Olympians here. And she wasn't even like solid all the way in her development stages.
Yeah.
But she was with the right people at certain times in her career.
Yep.
And then look at her now. Right?
Yeah.
You see kids like that, and then so all the dads with the daughters, man,
Yeah.
we can't be there all the time, fellas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they got to fucking hold their own, whether it's fucking jits, wrestling, Muay Thai, boxing, whatever
All
it
of
is.
it.
Man, all of it, man.
You want them
all
to
of
know
it.
all of it.
Outside of fucking pulling the trigger and shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you want them to develop, and a lot of times it's these combat sports, and I think, dads want to make sure that their kiddos are good. So, hey, go, it's going to be rough, but
Yeah.
you'll come out a lot better.
Yeah.
So,
We're now put on the Google glasses right now and look into the future and tell me where you see Red Star Wrestling in 5 years from now.
man, hopefully in a perfect world, we'll break ground somewhere and it evolves into a full-blown grappling place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I still love the roots. I still love the MMA aspects of it. The kiddos, they somehow found their way to YouTube and saw Coach fucking fighting, right? So they're like, yeah, I want to do it too.
Yeah.
So that's something we need to look into. But right now I want to focus on wrestling. But 5 years from now, we might have a jits team.
Yeah.
Maybe even sooner.
Yeah.
We might have a kickboxing team. It's going to be Red Star Athletics, man.
Yeah.
And I wish and I hope and I'll work hard for a place where I can host all this stuff also.
Yeah.
If it were a facility, like Alpha Males did it right, man. You know what I'm saying? So taking the fucking page out of their book, do all of it, But I want to be able to fucking house something out here.
Yeah.
That way, you know what? The Reds facility has huge space. Let's throw some venues out there. Because I know this shit's costly.
Yeah.
Right? Like you rent the fairgrounds, Women's West Coast Tournament Champions, Angie in Sacramento runs all that stuff with the help of a couple guys. They rented the fairgrounds. I want to say it was like fucking $20,000 a day or some shit.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah. So, if we can get a spot where we can help each other out, make a few bucks so I can travel with my kids and my team and then we're all happy. But that'd be amazing if we can do that. And then, you know, right now, today, SJWA wrestled the team from Japan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude, they were doing it today.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so we almost had an opportunity to host them.
Yeah.
They were evacuated because of the fire.
Yeah.
They had the bus ride up this way, 6-7 hours. I was hoping to get in. It'd be a great experience for my kids.
Yeah.
They rested. Well, it was yesterday. They got rested, and then they wrestled today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So kudos to them for doing the exchange program. I think they're looking for a few kids now. I want to say 10 to go to Japan and wrestle.
Dude, those exchange programs can be very powerful. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, so Andre DeFrias was running one
Yeah.
with jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
and they would send people to Brazil for several months. They'd live in Brazil, train in Brazil, compete in Brazil, and then they'd send a Brazilian here to the United States. And it was a very cool program. Like, we got great training from it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, that's a fucking dream, dude. Like, you're able to do that. You know, I want to be able to extend help in whatever capacity I could. You know what I mean? Like, dude, like, we didn't have that stuff growing up. So if we can, parents didn't know fucking sports. Like I said, it was like school work, you know, school, college work. That was it, right? So if we can do that with Reds, get a few kids, send them out, fucking live life, go experience other cultures.
check it out.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. See how the Dagestans are fucking wrestling,
Right.
right? What
Dude,
the fuck is
there's something in the water there, right?
Definitely.
We got to
bro.
figure it out.
Yeah. So I would love to fucking go pick their brains and maybe even send some of our kids out that way. You know, ultimately 5 years, we get something like that. You know, when I first decided to do this still is a 20-year project for me. We're in year 3.
Oh, yeah.
We're in year 3, so
It's
I
a
got to play
lifetime
good. Yeah,
commitment,
for sure.
man. 20
for sure.
years ain't long enough.
20 years, man. I'll say it out loud to the universe, man. You guys heard it here first, man. 20 years. We're in year 3. So if you haven't, you know, shown up or want to get with us, man, we still got 17 to go, man.
It's never too late to start.
All my friends who got these young children, man. Hey, 2, 3, 4, 5, get them ready. Get them ready because we'll be ready for them, man.
For sure, man. And so I wanted to ask you, right? There's a lot of good grapplers out there in the jiu-jitsu scene, and a lot of good wrestlers now making the transition into grappling or into MMA.
Yeah.
Who do you feel like is your favorite wrestler out there right now doing the MMA scene? And then who's the best wrestler do you think in grappling, like the jiu-jitsu scene?
Oh man, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't follow it like that because everyone's doing it, right?
Yeah.
The name that comes up right now, he does a couple of shows with what the hell is that show? They were doing at the gun show, the botched gun show.
The Arte Suave.
Arte Suave, right? And the dudes are dope too, right? Because they're helping it out, right? They do they do the jiu-jitsu stuff and then they do the wrestling stuff.
Yeah. They're building that wrestling program. Yeah.
And get with someone who knows wrestling, man, for the locals, dude. You guys are fucking lopsided matches. I love what you're doing, man, but fucking reach out and get some shit more even. But as far as the jiu-jitsu stuff goes, I don't know much of it, but they got a fantastic stuff, right? But right now, shout out to my boy Ian Morkin. Yeah. So Ian was with us at SenCal. Yeah. Fuck the guy.
He's doing the damn thing.
He's doing the damn thing, dude, right? So I met him when he was a kid. He would just fucking strike and zero fucking grappling. You know what I mean? And I used to just fucking pummel him, dude, in SenCal.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, kid, come fucking learn with the high schoolers, man. Sign up as a coach. That way you can be on campus and fucking do a season with us. And then we did that. We hit the off-season stuff. And I said, go wrestle for Delta.
Yeah.
He fucking exploded, dude. And then he found his way to Menlo.
Yeah.
Menlo picked him up. And then he met some couple guys down there. And then one of his good friends, I forget the big dude's name, man, but they're all down south at Millennial.
Yeah, I was actually, I talked to him recently. I was down in Anaheim, and he hit me up. I was going to stop by and say what's up to him and check out his spot, but the limited time on that trip, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but dude, he's got some monsters out there too. And so from our area, Ian's a fucking savage. You know what I mean? Obviously, all the Jits heads out here, the BB guys, you know what I mean? They got some
dude, they're all good, man.
Fucking tons of dudes going out that way. And the hitters from JG.
Yeah.
JG everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? Fucking Modesto, Lodi.
It's expanding. Stockton coming soon.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Hey, I know that logo. I had something to do with it.
Did
right?
you?
It was a conversation, right? I didn't charge him for it, man. We talked about it years back, dude. So again, I met Javi over at fucking Cortez, and this guy's fucking shredded.
Yeah.
Right? 3 rounds of fucking P90X and shit. Takes off his fucking gi and he has that tattoo on his chest. I was like, dude, it would be so fucking sick. You should get to be a black belt. You put that fucking red stripe right there. And then fucking years later, dude, we come back full circle and this guy's fucking doing the damn thing. I goes, oh, goes a fucking logo we're talking about. We're both Scorpios.
Yeah.
We're both Scorpios.
That's what's up.
That's kind of cool, man.
He's an awesome guy, man. I got to interview him a while back, and
Yeah.
he had me come out to his house, and
Yeah.
we're chilling, having beers by the pool. It was back in the summer,
Dude,
so
he's
it
doing
was
the
a
damn
good
thing,
time,
bro.
man.
That guy's a fucking hard worker, man. He runs his business.
Dude, he
and
is a
shits.
hard worker, dude.
Yeah, he's a dog, dude. As far as like getting shit together, super kind-hearted dude, man. But fuck, dude, that dude's a savage on the mat, dude. Puts people out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I first met him, he was like a fucking $125.
Yeah.
But strong as shit, dude. Now he's like 145, is even crazier.
Yeah.
And he still competes
Yeah.
at a high level. And that's why I think I appreciate a lot of these guys who still do it. I think if you're gonna teach it, you have had to have some competition.
Oh yeah.
That way you feel it. You know the rules. You know what I mean? Guys like, we'll name the guys out in the area, right? You got Stockton Jiu-Jitsu, you got BBB, you got fucking grappling arts, you got Ronin. Who am I missing here? You got Strive.
You got Kama.
Yeah, Kama guys. You know what I mean? Like all those guys, as long as they compete at one point or another, you know what I mean? It could have been like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Whatever. If you competed, then I think I can call you a sensei. I can call you a master. I call you professor.
Right.
But the most active professors would be fucking Javi.
Yeah. You got to be constantly.
Alika's turning out some youngsters. Joe Luna is helping out. I want to say Modesto. The Brentwood kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's how you stay sharp, you know? In the jiu-jitsu aspect, you can do it for a lot longer. There's rankings, right? You get grouped up, right? So if you're a white belt.
Masters divisions.
Dude. So that's kind of cool, right? But in wrestling, you can't do it for that long. Fuck, dude. You're an old dog at like 30, wrestling a fucking 22-year-old gonna run your ass over, dude. And that's just the fucking nature of the beast. That's why I think a lot of the wrestlers who still have it in them to compete end up going to jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they do that. So that's kind of cool, man, to see them, kind of the phases of what their career and their body allows them to do.
Yeah.
The old heads, the your fucking masters, 43 and above. You know what I mean? It's like, cool, I don't have to go against a young dog. You know what I mean? So the way to divide jiu-jitsu, I think it's awesome. Wrestling would be cool if they took that page out, you know what I mean? But fuck, sometimes you're a first-year wrestler going against a fucking senior who's been doing it since he was 5. Yeah. There's like zero chance of you winning.
I think there's good aspects from wrestling that jiu-jitsu could still, and I think same thing opposite. There's good jiu-jitsu aspects that wrestling could still. Yeah. And that clean eye hybrid we've been talking about, right?
Man, yeah.
Once we get that going, man.
Yeah, fucking shout out to the schools who are trying, man. You know what I mean? I think we're leaning towards that way too. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say it one way or another, but it's hard not to. Yeah. When you do have students who are dual grapplers, so it's hard not to. Again, it's not like I'm new to it. I just haven't really put in time like I do at wrestling. Yeah. But I think when it does happen, you make the shift. I can still be a student of the game and learn from there, or or pull help from everybody around here, man. Yeah. The communities, we're getting together. Oh yeah. I know those guys don't fucking say it. I'm not really in any of that stuff. There's funky shit going between a lot of these gyms, man. You know what I mean? And then, just talk this shit out if you can. If you can't, then just stay out of each other's way. Don't fucking try to sabotage nothing. You know what I mean? Just do what it is. That's why, even though I don't go to Sunday service, right? Like, Kalani has that shit down right,
open,
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he
no politics,
yeah,
no nothing.
And he means it.
You show the fuck up and you train.
Yeah, and he means
train hard.
Yeah. There's no hidden agenda.
No.
Just fucking go there and train and just it is what it is, you know what I mean? And fucking that's cool, It sucks that there's a lot of like politics that plays into it too.
And that's kind of something that's always been around, like even years ago, I remember the Torres guys and the Shingu guys, we always had a beef with them, not really a beef, but we just, there was always something.
They were against cross training, right? Yeah. That wasn't a big thing.
Upon,
Even now too, like with wrestling, it's some of that stuff too. So my old coaches wouldn't really practice with other schools during the off season or post season. But that's like a common thing for us now, right? And obviously you're gonna have people you don't want to work with. The theories just don't match.
Yeah, don't line up.
Yeah, just don't line up, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and so it is what it is, right? But then there's schools that you're like, fuck, dude, like if we get together,
Yeah.
it'd be amazing.
I always had that like crazy fantasy. Like one day, all the gyms in Stockton would unite.
Yeah.
You know, we'd have this massive, like bigger than AKA, bigger than
Yeah.
all these like American Top Team.
Yeah.
All that shit. And we'd have this one big ass team Stockton with all these fucking killers, with
Yeah.
the Diaz brothers,
Yeah.
with the Shingus.
Yeah.
You know, but like, I mean, obviously that's a lot of personalities to deal with,
There is,
you know,
man. There is.
and a lot of different
Yeah.
ways of doing things. So.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would have to be like fucking like city versus city type of shit.
That'd be
you know
crazy though. Like Stockton has a tough fucking
Yeah.
name. Like all these gyms in town are really
Yeah.
good, dude.
Yeah.
Like
And it's blowing up, man. It's almost popping up as fast as like these fucking high schools in town. Like a fucking new neighborhood, here's a new high school. Right? So there's schools everywhere. But even with it being flooded with new schools, the talent hasn't been diluted.
yeah,
You know, there's the savage guys. And then, you know, kudos to the fucking professors out there, senseis out there that understand the difference between a hobbyist and a fucking competitor.
Yeah.
Because I think that people like kind of lose the love because they're getting mixed in with one or the other.
yeah.
You know,
That's the worst.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Same thing with wrestling too,
Yeah.
right? But, you know, for us, most of the competitors are kids, right? Up to college level, right? I got some of my college kids come back and they come hang out a little bit. High school for sure during off season.
Yeah.
You know, but dude, just understand what people want, what people need. I think once we understand that, we could probably do a better job at helping each other and blending and making a super team.
Yeah.
If that ever happens, you do a Stockton versus Sacramento.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure they say the same thing about the guys in their area.
Right.
You know, that would be something amazing.
They got a ton of good gyms out in
Yeah.
Sac, you know that.
Yeah, dude.
They actually did do that on a submission pro tour card.
Oh, shit.
209 versus 916.
Oh, yeah.
I stand
yeah.
corrected, but I mean that one was okay,
Yeah.
right? I think there was a
Yeah.
lot of people missing from that one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like
would be
the
amazing.
916 might have won
Yeah.
that night, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm a little pissed.
There's
if
some
it-
killers out there.
Yeah,
man.
dude, it's a tough place,
Yeah,
man.
it would be a fucking sick if they made a league. I mean, they're doing a great job hosting these tournaments, like doing a monthly and they do like a yearly thing, right? They, I think it's Jiu-Jitsu World.
Yeah, World League.
World League, yeah. So they just start setting out all their fucking seasonal winners and stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I like that. The Jiu-Jitsu
Yeah.
World League is something that's like I think they're a growing organization that may eventually like wash up the IBJJF, right?
Yeah.
That's the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation, but
Yeah.
it's kind of a dying thing in my
Yeah,
opinion.
well, shit, man. I understand what they're trying to do to protect and preserve what they've been doing, but then there's like guys like myself who's been introduced like fucking to jiu-jitsu like 15, 20 years ago,
Yeah.
right? I'm still a fucking white belt and
Yeah.
shit, right?
Chad is too.
Yeah. Chad, let's go get promoted, brother. Fuck, dude. Yeah, so it's not like we're fucking white belts. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But then we want to jump in, but you're like, hey, you got to be affiliated with these guys.
Yeah.
Again, I understand that stuff too, but at the same time, it kind of sucks for us, right?
Yeah.
And then what I want to see is kind of dissolves a little bit, get a little more flexible for the guys like us, and then start a fucking league, dude, like seasonally, like, you know, like school sports. Take that blueprint, make fucking teams. What we got here? We just listed off like fucking 6, 7 teams out in this area, right?
Yeah.
Start a league, dude.
Yeah.
Put some weight classes together. 5,
Right.
6 matches weekly.
Yeah.
Right? Fucking, you can duel each other, whatever, and then fucking have a tournament, dude. 8-man brackets, easy to fucking do.
Yeah.
On paper. You don't have nothing fancy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I know these guys, they've been around enough to understand the rules. You can get a bunch of refs or whatever
Right.
it is. Start a league. You know, I think that, not that jiu-jitsu isn't exploding, but that would definitely help it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you ever see? Okay, wrestling's obviously a well-established sport, been around
Yeah.
a long time. Olympic sport. Do you ever see jiu-jitsu becoming an Olympic sport? Brazilian jiu-jitsu
I would hope so, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I mean,
in our lifetime at all? I
yeah,
guess.
yeah. You know what I mean? That's something that I would love to see the Olympics, but it would have to start locally first. I would say, dude, like fucking say wrestling's a winter sport, right? Make fucking jiu-jitsu a spring sport.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Allow only so many moves. Protect the kids.
Yeah.
Right? And then do that. Keep
Yeah.
it at like, you know, I what is it? Like 16 years old, you can get
Yeah.
your blue belt,
Yeah.
right? But if you started since you're a kid, you're going through all the colors.
Yeah.
That blue is different, dude. That blue.
There's 15, 14 belts for the
Yeah.
kids to go through if
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
go through
dude.
the kids' belts.
Yeah, so
It's insane.
So just like fucking youth wrestling, if you go youth jits, from 5 to fucking 16, you get your blue. You compete in high school.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
And then that'll fucking shine some light. Hey, look, there's some solid kids coming out the high school.
Yeah.
Then boom, it becomes something that maybe the Olympics can look at.
Right.
Dude, but it would start. We have to start local.
Start young, yeah.
Yeah, dude,
And-
start local.
yeah.
The fucking. Dude, there's so many different sports now, and then jiu-jitsu is a big thing. Everyone's
Dude, if
involved
slap
in it.
fighting is a fucking sport,
Yeah.
right? Power slap.
Power slap,
Which I
dude.
actually fucking enjoy. That's
Dude,
it.
watching.
Yes.
Fuck, get that shit clear.
Dude, I have seen the
Yeah.
best knockouts on power slap by those
Yeah.
big old fat dudes, you
Yeah.
know? And my favorite is when they talk shit, like after they just get mollywopped
Yeah,
and
dude.
shit.
Fucking have no room, dude. You put out cold, bro. But that's some fucking balls to stand there.
Yeah, dude.
Just take it. No flinching, dude.
Oh, fuck
No
that.
flinching.
Don't sign me up.
There's some savages out in the world.
Do you remember back? This is probably when we were fighting and stuff. That arm wrestling MMA shit got real popular.
Yeah, yeah.
Where they're like arm wrestling, they're tied up
Yeah.
together, and then like at a
Just-
certain point they get a fucking
Swinging, yeah. That shit. Well, nowadays they got that car jujitsu,
yeah.
which is fun to watch, right? It's like almost like real life situations
Yeah.
you don't want to get into, but like that's fucking wild,
Yeah.
dude. Right? Like if car jujitsu is a thing, like you can make a fucking seasonal sport in high school, bro.
Yeah,
there's
for
enough.
sure.
There's enough guys in the area, in all areas, that have the knowledge of it. You know, build an association and just get it started. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What I don't like, and I'm sure a lot of parents with multiple kids can fucking agree, is the cost of jujitsu.
Oh yeah.
Right, so $100, $150,
Yeah.
whatever, just anywhere between $50 to $150.
Yeah.
and then sometimes it sucks because it's like 2 matches.
Yeah.
Right.
Or one sometimes.
Yeah, right. So this is where I'm gonna promote my side. Fucking wrestling is like $25. It used to be when I first started, it's like $5, and you get like 5-6 matches a day, double bracket, triple bracket.
Yeah.
Fucking kids are walking out 11 matches and shit and spending like $20. You know,
Yeah.
now the cost now is $25 in our area. You know, you double bracket 5, 6, 7 matches of wrestling. You know, in our program we try to shoot for 100 matches a year. Do we get to it? Not likely, but we get pretty
Yeah.
close though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So if jiu-jitsu can have competition like that without breaking the bank,
Yeah.
fuck, dude. Like, I mean, these kids would explode.
Yeah.
Right. And then they do like maybe jiu-jitsu once a month. If you're super active, you got to
Yeah.
find all these fucking venues.
Yeah. You got travel.
You got to
to
travel.
find 'em.
Yeah, dude. Right. So if you're active, you do once a month, you know, on the wrestling side. It's fucking
It's every
every
weekend.
fucking
Yeah.
week, dude. And then you have your states, you
Yeah.
have, you know, you have your national tournaments, but
Yeah.
it's just more cost effective to get more competition time,
Yeah.
and that's what it is. It's needed. You know,
The more mat time, the better, right?
yeah, definitely. You know, proper mat time.
Yeah.
proper mat time. But you know, you get these kids or these programs that have these kids and they practice all season and they don't fucking wrestle.
Yeah.
They don't compete.
Yeah.
I tell my parents, hey, dude, like everybody has to wrestle because if not, then you don't belong here. That's not what we're looking for. You know. Now I get it. If you have a kid with whatever, and you come talk to me personally, hey, look, he's not ready yet. This is what's going on. Cool, I understand it. But you got to step into an academy thinking like you're gonna have to battle, dude.
Yeah.
You know. So if they can get that through their head, they can go there and just run a bunch of matches. Great. So when we do transition to jiu-jitsu, I'm gonna try that, dude.
Yeah.
Get with these guys. You know, hey,
There's
dude, let's just
a lot of work that can be done with that.
yeah.
You know?
And so going live with your teammates feels tough. Going live with open mat stuff, it's tough. Going live in competition, playing for keeps, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
It's different levels mentally for the kids. So if I have a league, you know what I mean, jiu-jitsu league, and then it's like fucking every week, dude, there's so many matches. Dude.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? That's just my idea. I would love to see jiu-jitsu in this area do that.
I would too.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Who do we talk to about that shit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Me and you, man, we got to put it together. It sounds
shit,
like.
dude. Hey, you know, I can get some mats together.
Yeah.
I can get some venues. But I think it would be amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Like get a league going.
100%. Man.
I'm definitely gonna try to do that with the youth program.
Yeah.
So we're looking for teams to duel, man. We got enough kids now.
Yeah. Now I know you closed signups for Red Star
Yeah.
twice, right?
Yeah, I already opened it.
But if their parents looking to sign up their kids or looking to get involved in your program, how would they find you? How do they get involved?
Yeah, we're on IG, Red Star Wrestling. Look us up. The numbers are on there. I open up enrollment twice a year.
Yeah.
So I do it in August for our 12-week period leading into the folk style season, and I do one more coming up here shortly in February for freestyle and Greco.
Yeah.
So those are the only openings. Again, we don't do too many advertising. It's all word of mouth.
Yeah.
It all depends on how many students I have. I'm starting to get more and more parents telling me that they want to go year round now, which is awesome, but it kind of sucks because it takes us from other sport. But this is their choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So space is limited, for sure. We have all age groups, all skill levels. It's curriculum based. Like I said, even if you come in, like you'll learn the right way.
Yeah.
So check us out on Instagram. Follow our page. Check out the kids. Follow the kids, and then come see a practice. When I do have open enrollment, I allow people to have like a week trial.
Yeah.
You know, and here it is. Here's our business spew.
Yeah.
You know, love it or
Do
leave it.
they need to have any equipment or anything like that to show up?
Just basic stuff, right? Wrestling shoes, obviously. You know, if you're coming from jiu-jitsu side, it's kind of a cringe, right?
Yeah.
You guys fucking shoes on the mat, but we got wrestling shoes. Those stay on the mat, no street shoes, and then just PE attire.
Yeah.
You know, come ready to work, especially with us, man. No BS. You know, it is fun. You know, so
And
but there's tons of work.
You warm them up real good in that room. Then you
Oh,
guys move to
man.
that big room, and
Yeah,
dude, it's on
it's
from there.
wild.
It
Yeah,
starts
yeah.
to the fun starts in that big room.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I appreciate, like I said, man, the guys that made that happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're blessed in a situation where we can use that side too.
Yeah. That's amazing,
So,
man. Like,
yeah.
and you're doing great things, Dao, and I really appreciate, hearing your journey through grappling and what you're doing, man. You're changing the scene, dude.
Yeah,
You're-
for
you're-
sure, brother. For sure.
There's disruptors in this world, and I feel like you might be one of them.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, and you know what I mean. Thank you for having me. Fuck, dude. Like we've been at it for a while,
Yeah.
dude. You know what I
Yeah,
mean.
man.
So it's kind of nice to come out here and really just kind of speak about it, of the journeys of myself and the guys been in the area, man. Like
Yeah.
you included, right? Like all your guests tell you,
Right.
hey, dude, you've been in the grind for a long time, and to be able to be part of your grind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To witness where we're at now,
It's
pretty
wild.
fucking amazing.
Yeah,
dude.
it's
You know what I
wild,
mean?
man.
So I appreciate that.
I wish you nothing but luck, man, in the future. And I know you're gonna have continued success with your wrestling program, dude. You're a great coach, and you're really committed to doing it the right way. And
Yeah.
it's great to see, man. And go check out Dao. Check out his Instagram, Red Star Wrestling. I'll tag the link in the description. But other than that, this has been another episode of Grapplers Talk. This is Dave. And
This is Rappers Talk.